I have a quote I want to begin with today. Henry David Thoreau wrote this in his book, Walden. He said, "If you have built castles in the air, your work need not be lost. That is where they should be. Now put the foundations under them." This month, of course, is the month about awareness. Awareness is our theme. Awareness is about being awake, mindful, conscious about who we are, what we want, and where we want it. Dreams, now the castles in the air type dreams, we all have them. We've all had them. We are all going to have more of them, and some of them we've let go. But all those types of dreams, the castles in the air kind, are the beginnings of any idea, the beginnings of any manifestation or any journey, the beginnings of any of our steps into increased self-confidence, increased awareness. They start as dreams. Dreams are an experimentation of the mind where we see a brighter future, usually, where we experience our greatest strengths. We imagine our successes. Sometimes we even imagine our failures, but we imagine learning from them. We take these dreams of failure and use them to propel us to fall forward into our next success. Those types of dreams are where we envision our best life. As Gloria Steinem said, dreaming, after all, is a form of planning. Now, you may ask, what's the difference between daydreaming and mind wandering? Because a lot of times we get confused. Oh, that whole having dreams and daydreaming and visualizing and stuff, that's just mind wandering. Now, mind wandering, that's not true, because mind wandering is usually what we do when we're distracting ourselves from what's going on in front of us. We are trying to get off task. Well, we may stay on task with whatever we're doing, but we're staring in the air and just musing about other things because this task is boring or, the same task we've been doing over and over again. Sometimes mind wandering is just, looking out the window on a train, for those who still take a train. And usually mind wandering is without a specific purpose other than to be distracted from what's in front of you. It's something you don't want to attempt while driving or handling heavy machinery or pointy objects. Don't let your mind wander, be focused. But mind wandering can be a powerful precursor to daydreaming. It allows a flow of discovery. And a flow of discovery is a wonderful thing because daydreaming is a visionary fantasy. So when you're daydreaming, which is where our dreams come through, it's usually pleasant thoughts of hopes or ambitions, ones we imagine to come to pass, and ones we imagine we are going to, or at least want to, experience in real time while we are awake. And this daydreaming leads to an active visualization. We imagine, we visualize, there's a whole story, we then envision it, and it becomes one of our lists, part of our lists of what we desire in our lives, what we eventually require in our lives. Paulo Coelho said, "Be fully awake if you want to dream." See, daydreaming is focused. It's usually intentional. It's an imaginative what-if mental project, so to speak. It possesses a narrative structure, a story. It's usually full of plans and goals. It's colors. It's people that we know or want to know. It shows feelings felt, and we experience those feelings felt as we are in this daydreaming, as we are in this imagination session. It's a mental picture of purpose and success. That's the difference between daydreaming and just letting your mind wander. It's like a seed with potential to grow into a majestic sequoia. That little seed of an idea turning into that mustard plant, like we've talked about many times before. But these castles in the air, because that's what dreams are, at least at first, these castles in the air, they're also like architectural blueprints for a building. They're only a potential. They're only a dream, a design of a dream, a design of a future that is possible, that you want, that you then eventually require. But until we start to pour the concrete of a foundation under it and pound the wood and nails together, it remains just a dream, just a piece and an idea on an architectural blueprint. Now, as we daydream and as we become unified with our best self in this daydream, it becomes a precursor to the mental equivalent of having that daydream, of living that dream. It becomes the precursor of the manifestation of that dream. In order for it to move from a vision to an envision, remember, an envision is something that we embody, that we really feel the feelings of it, feel the experience of it in our mind, in our imagination. In order for that vision to become an envision, to go from fantasy to fact, is we must live it on the inside. We must live it on the inside in order to build it on the outside. So I want to give you a few building tools. The first one is to find the meaning it has for you. What is the meaning of this dream? Whatever they are, whether it's a career dream, a relationship dream, a health dream, whatever that dream is, going to some part of the earth or another planet dream, find the meaning it has for you. It has to have meaning, not just, oh, wouldn't it be fun? There has to be an intention and a meaning that fills your heart. There's a parable of the fisherman that reads, one day a fisherman was sitting by his boat while playing with his child on a beautiful beach. And his fishing pole was resting against the boat. And this wealthy businessman came walking down the beach trying to relieve some of the stress of his work day. And he was kind of curious and a little bit horrified at the sight of this fisherman wasting like the second half or the last quarter of a day just hanging out with his kid. And he asked, "Hey, why aren't you out fishing, buddy?" And the fisherman looked up at the businessman and smiled, and he replied, "Because I've already caught enough fish for one day." And the businessman, "Well, why don't you catch some more?" "What would I do with them?" replied the fisherman. "Well, you could earn extra money, for one thing," said the businessman. Then you could buy a bigger boat. You can go into deeper waters, catch more fish, and you could make enough money to buy nylon nets and catch even more fish and make more money. And with that money, you could buy a couple of more boats, maybe 3 more boats, and eventually you have a whole fleet of boats, and you can be rich like me. Don't you want to be rich like me? And the fisherman looked at him and he said, "Then what would I do?" "Well, then," said the businessman, "you could really enjoy life." The fisherman looked at his little girl, looked around him, and then looked at the businessman and said, "Well, what do you think I'm doing now? Your dream is your dream. It's not about more, more, more. It's about fulfillment, fulfillment, fulfillment. A heartfelt purpose with a mission and a vision. Carl Jung said, who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. Awaken to the why more than the what of your dreams. Why are you having this dream? What does it mean to you? What is the feeling that you have as you experience it? Awaken to the why, and that will be a foundation builder. Building tool number 2, hold the vision. Get clear on what you want this dream to look like, smell like, taste like, feel like. It's just like when I teach spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer. It's not just the great words. It's not just the attachment, the communion with the divine within you, the revelation of the idea you want to declare and manifest in your life has to be real for you so the universe with that specificity can bring it into your life. The law needs to know what it looks like, what it smells like, what it tastes like, what it feels like to you, not only in your heart, but in your hands. And everything has a taste, smell, and feel, even if it doesn't seem like it. Use this form of envisioning as your motivation, a compass point to keep you going in the right direction. It's imagination, visualization, and specification. That helps lay a foundation under your castles in the air. Building tool number 3, baby steps. Don't get all freaked out. I got to do all these things. That's a lot of stuff. Baby steps, my friends. Identify your milestones and gap areas. Reverse engineer your success. What will bring this into your life? What do you need to do? What actions do you need to do to bring this into your life? Your specificity, your feeling, your knowing, your tasting, your experiencing it in your mind and your imagination, in your divine matrix and in your gut informs the law. But what action are you taking in your life? You can reverse engineer that. You can figure out the action steps you can make for each milestone. Is it networking? Is it researching? Is it outsourcing? Is it content creation? Break it down in smaller chunks. Either way, simple tasks that you can accomplish in education, bettering your current skills, whatever they are, in connections, who are your allies, finding your allies to assist you in any resource that you may need to complete the foundation of the dream, including spiritual communions, especially including at 1 minute with the universe. Do the actions, hit the milestones one at a time, and have confidence going in the direction of your dreams. Now, some of this may include, this journey may include some fearful moments, some terrifying moments even, some unknowing, some difficulties, but that's okay. Go towards them and through them. Make those baby steps with all the boldness that you can muster at that moment. They're part of the adventure that builds your life of majesty. The life of majesty you decided you require, and the life of majesty that is always there awaiting us. A building tool number 4, connect with spirit and stay in tune with having your dream. Henry David Thoreau also said we must learn to reawaken and keep ourselves awake, not by mechanical aid, but by an infinite expectation of the dawn. An infinite expectation of the dawn. Expect it as you commune with nature, as you commune with the divine, as you commune with God. Expect the dawn to come. Our inward reflection and inner work projects outward. Peace within reflects on everything we see and do. As Dr. Frankenfurter said in the Rocky Horror Show, or the Rocky Horror Picture Show, if you're only aware of the movie, don't dream it, be it. The science of mind teaches us that the relationship between the individual and the universal mind is one of reflection. We reflect into our lives those castles in the air that we have laid a foundation under by using attention, awareness, focus, feelings, and the thoughts that go with those feelings, and the beliefs that settle in, that get concretized as we have these feelings. I started with a quote from Walden by Henry David Thoreau, a very famous quote. I'm sure you've all heard it, at least in junior high. And I want to read the whole paragraph from the conclusion of Walden, the book about his experience of living in Walden Pond and being away from the city life that he lived. And he said, I learned this, at least by my experiment, that if one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. He will put some things behind, will pass an invisible boundary, new, universal, and more liberal laws will begin to establish themselves around and within him. Or the old laws will be expanded and interpreted in his favor in a more liberal sense, and he will live with the license of a higher order of beings. In proportion as he simplifies his life, the laws of the universe will appear less complex, and solitude will not be solitude, nor poverty, poverty, nor weakness, weakness. If you have built castles in the air, your work need not be lost. That is where they should be. Now put the foundations under them. It's not about chasing your dreams. I'm not asking you to chase your dreams. It's about being a reflection of your dreams. It's about going from imagination to contemplation to realization to initiation. It's about going from a vision to envisioning it, being a part of it, having it be a part of you. From fantasizing about it to being it, to living it. The final building tool I want to share with you is never let anyone else's opinion about what is and is not possible in your life become your reality. Your dream is your dream. You don't even, and some people will say, it is better that you do not share it outside of yourself. None of your dreams are impossible nor ridiculous. They are a start of something that could possibly change your world, but they are a part of something that may adjust itself, but will become reality as you put foundations under it, as you concretize it. Because without dreams, nothing really happens, nothing really changes in our lives, nothing grows, nothing evolves. So dream bold, dream big, build those luscious, rich, mouth-watering, divine-inspired castles in the air. Then bravely lay a concretized foundation. Concretized, not a word usually here. Concretized meaning a concrete, a specific, an embodied foundation under them. And then start building your greatest, most fun, most sexy, most prosperously abundant, vibrant life today, right here, right now. Have those dreams. Have fun with those dreams. And then use those building tools to put a foundation under them and allow that law of cause and effect, the divine power, to bring them into your life today. Namaste. Thank you.